Attorney Better has a number of items as well.
Mr. Better.
Thank you, Judge.
Honestly, go fuck yourself, sir. You don't say that, okay? You don't lose a trial where a jury acquits someone and finds them overwhelmingly not guilty and say, I gave my sincere obligation to look into this, and I'm telling you all I saw when she's guilty. Again, respectfully, go fuck yourself.
Swear again like that. That was, no, I mean, whatever. That was, I shouldn't have done that.
A few moments later.
You, as a prosecutor, have got to be out of your fucking mind.
Little burgers, little sausage, a little that macaroni, a little homemade mac and cheese. How you doing? A little watermelon, right? Why can't they enjoy that for a little bit?
Hey, Blues Clues, motherfucker.
Good morning, lovies. How are we? Today is August 5th, 2025. And what is she doing? We don't know. Okay. She fought the desktop, and the desktop won. But we're in for a hell of a Tuesday. So for a Talk S Tuesday, I got my pearls on. Okay. I got my pearls. I got my cross. I have some, spectacles in order for us to see through the bullshit that the Commonwealth is trying to pull as usual, per usual. Just saying. I stopped at the Dunks, got myself a hot tea. So why don't you sit on back and enjoy the ride? Because today we are going to go over last night, a video dropped from who? Billy Bush. Billy Bush and one turtle, Aiden. Okay. They were talking about what has happened and what is coming next for Karen, for Aiden himself in their cases. And there were a couple of breaking news moments that Monsieur Bush got. So we're going to have to go through them. Speaking of Bush, while we're here, if there's any boys in this chat, close your ears, okay? Do earmuffs to the boys. Because there was, I have to talk about a Nair incident, because I just saw Brandi Glanville on the cover of Page 6 yesterday. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Brandi from a fan perspective of Beverly Hills. I was always a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills girl. You know what I'm saying? And, she is an interesting character. Listen, take some of these. Look at, it's the morning. Oh, take your liposomals. Oh. So she says, she's like, oh, I have this like parasite in my face. And I'm like, oh, you do? And she's like, it's been living here. Her name is like Gertrude. I don't know what she calls the parasite, but she has a parasite in her face. And she says that the parasite doesn't like Nair. So she burned like her entire lower jaw, like her jowl everywhere. Oh, the Nair. Oh, it's happening. Yep. Okay. Yep. Bonnie knows. Bonnie knows what's coming. Okay. What's happening? So we know that Brandi Glanville, she left Nair on her face for 7 minutes. I go, oh, honey, you don't, are you out of your mind? And she's got an actual chemical burn. Well, it brought me to a place of pain, of regret, and of being there. Like I was like, oh, been there, but not on my face, right? So what happened was, approximately 8 days ago, oh gosh, geez Louise. All right. So I had a little Nair, and I was doing it on just like a bikini line Nair, right? And I said, oh, let's give it a whirl. Well, lovies, something happened. Okay. And what happened here is there was a migration of the Nair product, and it hit a lip. And when I tell you I felt the burn, I felt the burn. You can't do anything. If you wipe, you will die. If you put cold water on it, it will activate. You will die. Death be not proud when you're being murked by a Nair product. Okay? There was there was a reaction, a chemical reaction, and I could not sleep for an entire evening. Okay, you couldn't ice pack that puss enough. You were like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. I prayed to Tiny Mary, to Tiny Jesus, and might send a like poison pen letter to the producers of Nair, because I was unwell. Okay. What is my email address? Is it legal nurse Kim, or is it, like Kim at puffypuss.com? Because that could have been what happened. It was horrifying. So I want to say to every lady, to all the ladies out there, don't do it. You think you want to do it. You think you're like, oh my gosh, I have a hair. Just shave. Okay. Nair is the devil's playground, and you will pay the price. Okay, boys, you're allowed to come back now. My six fans, sorry about that, but you win some, you lose some, and that was a price I was not willing to pay. Never will again. Okay? I'm not willing to roll the dice in that kind of spirit again. Okay, call a girl, get a laser, do something else. Never do that. Okay? Like, I think there was at least two things of peas that had to just be thrown out, frozen peas that I used as just trying to bring me back to life. Well, I'm okay now. Everything's all right. We've depuffed, but lesson was learned, and I wanted all of you to know it too. Okay, there we go. Yep, here we go. Lula says just wax it. Yep. Amber knows it is frightening. And the only fan says that Nair do good is awful. Yes, it's not great. It's not something that any of us should really participate in. And now we know, right? The more you know. If nothing else, this is a very fact-based, opinion-based channel. This is what happens to me. I'm going to give to the people, right? Thanks to Kathy O'Grady. Also, shout out to Kath for sending a super chat the other night on my 1-year anniversary. Who am I hanging out with? Oh, I don't know, Mr. Betterow. And she's like, hope you healed from the Nair incident. And I'm like this. I passed away. I passed away live on the World Wide Web because I tell you people too much. And now you all know. And while I'm sitting here with my stupid face next to who? Turtle Boy and Billy Bush. And that is where I thought, let's tell a story. Okay. Woo. With that being said, let's rock and roll right into this interview. Really incredible. And we're going to talk all the S. Let's go, babes. Oh, let's go for a playback speed of 1.25. Bam.
Aiden, tell me, what's going on with your legal situation? Are you out of the woods? Are they done messing with you?
Far from it, but we're on the offensive right now. We're trying to get a bunch of legal we have a hearing coming up on August 13th, and at the last hearing, we've got all these messages that we got in discovery from McAlbert's to various people at the district attorney's office, whole bunch of text messages from Michael Morrissey himself. Really, really interesting stuff in these text messages that the public has a right to see. And quite frankly, it's outrageous, it's salacious, and you have a right to see the stuff that's in these messages, but they are currently under impoundment. And the prosecutor, Robert Cosgrove,
because of Karen's phone?
No, just because they just impound everything. Like this stuff is it's got nothing to do with Karen's phone. It's got nothing to do with the Karen Reed case. I mean, well, it involves the McAlberts and whatnot in their messages, but it shows the evolution of how a lot of these charges came to be in the first place for both Karen and me. And we have Proctor messages, we have all types of stuff, and it's under impoundment right now. And we filed a motion to unimpound them, and they.
In that moment that Aiden was like, I want to take him to unimpound town. He couldn't though, right? He goes, trademark Nurse Kim. Aiden, please use unimpound town. Hilarious.
The government is objecting to that. And Cosgrove, the special prosecutor, we call him Triple Dip. He's a former judge out of retirement. He's collecting 2 pensions and an extra paycheck for doing this. And he's opposing this because he says that if because I have such a large platform, I will use these messages to embarrass the witnesses and cause them more harm, because apparently we're not allowed to embarrass Michael Proctor anymore than he already has been.
Welcome, Turtle Boy, says Joy. The turtle always wins the race.
Oh.
Is that the way it was? Did the turtle always win? Yeah, he beat the hare, didn't he?
I feel like, yeah, he did. You know, he was patient. You know,
Against
his time
all
came.
odds.
Yeah, his time came. I think that's what's going to, the longer they push this, you know, the more we're going to go on the offensive and show exactly what's happening here. I'm not the least bit, you know, worried about these charges or anything like that. We're going to beat them. It's a matter of how and when, not if. Either they can drop the charges, but when a new district attorney comes along, or we can file another motion to dismiss. We're going to have another motion to dismiss coming up because in the indictment against me, they took all my shows, right, where I, you know, talked about the case or whatever, and they renamed them. They gave them like really nefarious titles. And like, for instance, one of the shows was called like Commonwealth Corruption, something to that nature. And they titled it like Aiden's threatening Colin Albert. Like, that's obviously not the name of the show, but they presented it to the grand jury as that. Like, so we have another motion to dismiss based on just these outrageous titles that they lied to the grand jury about with my case. They make me sound like I'm like the boogeyman. It's just ridiculous.
But listen, why would the O'Keefe family, like I said it before you got here, like, let us grieve the guy. A police officer died, you know, like no one's got anything against John O'Keefe at all. And yet the family just is putting everyone in this position of not liking them and making it hard to grieve, you know, their son.
Oh.
And by carrying on with the civil trial, which is going to be a complete waste of time, they're not going to win it. They have no chance of winning it.
No.
Well, okay. So, and Billy knows this because Billy is educated, but there is a different, we know too, Loveys, that it is a standard of preponderance of evidence, meaning that it's more likely than not that what you are claiming for the civil suit happened. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt like we have for our criminal cases. And in this country, that is a specific differentiation made for civil suits and criminal suits so that there can be monetary rewards given when there is a act that was committed, but there was not criminal action that was taken, right? But Karen Reed was found not guilty on the manslaughter, on the murder 2, and on leaving the scene of an accident. Now, I don't know about you, Loveys, but if you look at the preponderance of evidence, the totality of everything would have to be 51% that Karen did it. And from trial 1, we had a hung jury. In trial 2, we had on record 12 zip for Karen being innocent. And it is alleged that there has been the other jurors were outreached after the verdict, and that they all said no matter who was chosen, they would have chose to pick innocent or not guilty, rather, on the verdict slips. So there is no way, in my opinion, that the evidence will show that, okay, so Karen and Officer John O'Keefe were at a bar. They were at CF McCarthy's. They go to the waterfall. They do a trut over to 34 Fairview. Kat is connected to One Meadows Wi-Fi at 12:36 a.m. And there is nothing, if you ask me, that would show that there could be the timing, the opportunity, or that it happened that Officer John O'Keefe was struck by a vehicle. And when I see trolls still saying to us that, oh, she got away with it. Oh, she did. Oh, she did she? Well, every physician that testified in all trials would say, no, she didn't, because his injuries did not equate to being struck by a vehicle. Oh, well, what about that taillight? Well, bitch, how about when Lieutenant Gallagher was doing his little layer by layer motherfucking, excavation project in the middle of a blizzard? He finds 3 drops of blood, but doesn't find 1 piece of red polycarbonate plastic taillight. Suck a D. Okay, thank you. That's my TED Talk.
I mean, their only hope was a settlement, which, because that's how a lot of these cases
They're not going to
work.
get that.
Well, it's really not up to Karen Reed even. It's up to her insurance carriers, I guess, because that's how these things get settled a lot, is like people sue someone and then your insurance covers it and they pay for it. And they're like, well,
That's embarrassing for the insurance company. To
Will,
say after what happened and the acquittal and the big scene that was,
are you trolling me?
nationwide, you're going to go strike a check? I don't think
so.
Yeah,
you're right. With the acquittal, I think they have all the momentum. They have no reason to settle. It's just a matter of like, they have to pay for the attorneys to litigate this, and when you win, when you prevail in a lawsuit, which you're the defendant in Massachusetts, you don't get to sue for court costs. Like it's not, you're out all that money. So like, even when you win, you still lose in Massachusetts. And that's what's happened with Karen Reed with her case. It's not like the government's reimbursing her for all her legal fees or anything like that. Yeah, she won. Great. But it's not like they're admitting that they did anything wrong. What they should be worried about, though, is this lawsuit that's coming that Alan Jackson kind of alluded to. And I can confirm that Karen Reed is going to be suing the state police in particular, amongst others, in federal court for their involvement in covering up and framing her for murder.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get it. Where is it? On your mark, get set, go. Let me go. Oh, yeah. So Turtle Boy just confirmed. Like, listen, we got the hints. The hints we were taking, but this is a direct confirmation. 1983 lawsuit is coming. Civil suit. Get ready. Immunity, your ass.
That's what Alan was referring to. So there's some people in the comment section here going, I'm scouring everywhere. What are you talking about? He did allude to, hey, I told you we weren't done. We're not done. So Karen is going to file a federal lawsuit against Massachusetts State Police. That's going to be a big one. What a scene that will be.
Yeah. Obviously there's a lot of hurdles to overcome because of, there's immunity, like every defendant would just sue anytime they were acquitted. Right. But she's got a really strong case for it because as we've seen, a lot of evidence was destroyed. And just those text messages alone, all those Proctor group text messages, those alone, the fact that every detective involved with her case was saying such disgusting things about her, right, shows that they're biased, right, that they didn't treat her fairly. And she's got I think she's got a pretty good shot. If Alan Jackson's getting involved, that guy doesn't like to waste his time. So I would say that's a good sign.
What everyone wants to know, will the McAlberts be held accountable? I mean, and that would only happen if the O'Keefes turned around and changed their mind and filed a suit against them, right? They're going to get away with it. They got away with it. They will get away with it. There is no reckoning. Yeah.
Yeah. Criminally, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think any of them are going to go to jail or anything. I kind of gave up on that one a while ago, but I do think that, in the court of public opinion, everyone's going to always know what they did. And with the civil suit, like if they all get deposed and whatnot, I mean, more information could come out. Who knows if she could sue them? She could sue all them. John O'Keefe died on Brian Albert's front lawn. She could sue him. She could sue anyone she wants. I don't know what she could get out of him, but all these people, you don't have Fifth Amendment rights when you're deposed in one of these civil lawsuits. And so we could find more information out. And in my case too, if I have an evidentiary hearing, if I end up going to trial with any of these people, like we're going to have to do this all over again. Cause they're going to ask me, why were you doing these things? Why were you asking Jennifer McCabe these questions? Why are you accusing them of this? And I'm like, well, because I think they're guilty of murder, and here's why. And then we're going to air it all. We're going to do it all over again. So like my defense in my case is I think they committed murder. So I'm asking them questions and I'm treating them as such. And what do you want from me?
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever get nervous about accusing someone of murder? Even if you're pretty, they did, is something doesn't it tighten up a little bit in here before you say you're a murderer?
Yeah.
Who are you asking? Billy, Monsieur Bush, are you asking Mr. Turtle, Dr. Turtle Boy, if he clutched his pearls and clenched his butt before he said, hey, you fuckers did something here? Because it wasn't Karen.
Well, it's a serious accusation for sure. And I don't take it lightly. I wouldn't say that if I wasn't sure of it. I'm sure that Karen Reed didn't do it. And yet John O'Keefe is still dead and somebody killed him. And so there's no other alternative. It was either her or them. And the jury has soundly said resoundingly that it was not her. Woo! And the doctors have said that. Everybody who matters has said that she didn't do this, which means we're all looking at you guys, and sure, you might not get in trouble for it because who's going to investigate you? The state police aren't going to do that. Obviously, the DA's office isn't going to do that. All the evidence has been destroyed, right? You're not going to get caught. But, at the end of the day, how come they're not suing me? I've been calling these people murderers for almost 3 years now. And I keep hearing that I'm going to get sued for defamation. Every day I check the mail, it never comes. So I don't think they want any part of that. Because
every day I check the mail, it never comes. We need a wrap. I'm gonna send out an SOS to our auntie Deborah and see if we can get a check that mail and your subpoena never comes because you're not gonna sue.
Because they know that I would prevail in that lawsuit and they would all have to be deposed and we'd have to do this all over again. They don't want that.
You drove down to the Cape, spent a little time down there. You went down Higgy Lane. You went down Brian Higgins Road, and he came out. He was yelling at you. And what made you drive down his cul-de-sac? You just wanted to see where the big guy lived. And
I wasn't driving. I was with.
Well, you were in the car. You could have said, "Don't go down."
Yeah, I suppose I could have made a big stink about it, but we were in the neighborhood. So, my girlfriend lived down there and her parents, they lived in Mashpee, which is a neighboring town to Sandwich. And, we just went out to Dunkin's, got a coffee.
Don't worry, Billy just went to go get his bro.
We came back and she's like, well, Brian Higgins lives around here. We should check out his house. I'm like, sure. And so we drove by. I didn't think he'd be home. We drove right by, and then there he is on the front lawn. Yeah, he'd lost some weight, not like the good kind of losing weight either, like stress weight. And so we did a turn around the cul-de-sac. I'm like, I don't think he saw us or anything like that. And then he's now right on the edge of the street yelling, "Get the F out of here!" And we kind of ran after us after we drove away. I didn't say a word to him, like nothing. I wanted no part of it. I'm like, it was like a sightseeing tour. Like you're in the neighborhood.
Should we play a game? Is it Ozempic or stress? One may never know.
Bro, you're like, there's Brian Higgins' house. I didn't think he'd be on the lawn.
How are his wheels? Could he move?
No, he's got like 3 cars. He got like a couple trucks. I don't know. He's got a whole array of vehicles on his property, on his compound, I call it. He's got cameras everywhere, signs. The guy is like living on pins and needles, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But and that's ultimately, Karen Reed's living free. She's living.
Have you spoken to her?
Future.
Where is Karen? Like what? I actually did speak to her. I went out when I got back to Los Angeles. I'd done some travel, and Alan Jackson returned. He and I got together, went to Houston's for a Vesper Martini. I said, I wonder what kind of cocktail Alan Jackson likes. Is he a Manhattan guy? Is he an old-fashioned guy? A Vesper Martini. I joined him in that, and he put me on the phone with Karen, and she was terrific. Had a nice chat with her. But what's interesting to a lot of people is she hasn't done an interview. Does that surprise you?
No, I mean she's doing that on purpose because she's saving herself kind of, I think, for the highest.
Okay, lovies, I just looked up a Vesper Martini because I don't know what it is. It is a classic cocktail famously ordered by James Bond in Ian Fleming's Casino Royale. It is a variation of the martini featuring gin, vodka, and a fortified wine called Quina Lillet. Due to the discontinuation of Quina Lillet, modern recipes often substitute for a Lillet Blanc or a Cucci Americano. Okay. And it wasn't mine.
Bitter. Although if I were her, I would do it sooner the better, because people are going to move on. There's going to be the next big thing. You kind of want to strike while the iron's hot while you're still in the public eye, so I would, from my conversations with her, she's struggling, quite frankly, adjusting to the new reality. I think that she thought that, she's dreamed of the day when she'd be acquitted, just like we all have. And then when it came, it's just like, oh my God, it's over. Like this for the last 3.5 years, her entire life has been working on her case. And then it's just over. But you still have this uneasy feeling that like, they're not done with me, like what is their next move? They're not giving her phone back. They're not giving her car back. What are they up to? Like, what do these people have in mind for her? So like, she's constantly like, it's a PTSD thing. She's been through trauma. I mean, it's traumatic going through all this, like in the roller coaster of going through there and waiting for that verdict. I was inside the courtroom when it happened. Like I've never felt anything like it. The kind of tension that was inside that small little courtroom, not knowing that like in a minute, like your fate is about to be decided. And like,
and that's so interesting to hear from Aiden. So we know that now Billy went out with AJ. All right. He had a Cucci Americana. You know what I'm saying? He had a little bit of a Vespa Martini. Had it shaken, not stirred. I don't know, but I like to pretend. So they're out. They're definitely driving in the Porsche, the Boxster, right? Like, oh, so hot. Okay. Wood all day. Anywho, they're doing that. They call Kat. Kat's like, hey, bitches, what are you doing? What are you up to? Cool. I'm gardening. I don't know. But I like to think that Kat is sitting and like, watering tomato plants. And she's like, I'm just trying to chill with my bad self. Also, potentially that she's on a boat and she's just tanning, right? Like, she is putting SPF on, but she is getting some color because she needed it. She was like, ew, 3 summers of me being like so fucked in the brain that I need to relax and correct my ions at the ocean on a boat at all times. Thank you. Check, will do. But with Aiden telling us that, like, yeah, this is hard. You were on when you are in fight or flight, lovies. Now we know this, right? And especially any of us with trauma, no matter what your trauma is, everything is always relative, right? I have not gone through a murder trial. I have not been accused of a murder I did not commit. The amount of stress with somebody who is also chronically ill, what that toll does to your body, like her nervous system, her central nervous system is not going to be repaired no matter what kind of therapy, EMDR, whatever she does. It is going to take a while to regulate. Her vagus nerve, like all of it, we should like send her, I don't know, I'll send her some like TikTok clips. And just to try to do square breathing, like meditation, but do you, boo. I don't give a shit if Karen is at a computer, like looking up Kohl's coupons. All right. She's like, oh, look at, I could get some Kohl's cash for that. Yes, queen. Whatever you need to do it because you deserve it now. You've been clutching and clenching forever. Now relax.
You could be leaving here and going to jail for a long time, and then to just be acquitted. You know, it's obviously it's a great feeling, but it's mentally a lot to overcome. So I think she's still coming. It's going to be a while, I think, before she's back to normal, whatever that is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, learning how to breathe again is someone just put up on the screen there a second ago. Aiden Carney is Turtle Boy, and he's with us here, and instrumental in rallying public support for Karen Reed, and ultimately, in her exoneration, her vindication. So. You ran into Ben Affleck down there in Cape Cod. How did you run into Ben? Just I love this picture of you.
The story.
Yeah, he's cool. I can't.
Oh, Billy went to go get his pearls again. Jesus, Billy, you worse than me. Getting up and down and all around.
Can't get into it too much because I don't want to cause too much speculation. And there are I don't know if we lost Billy there, but there are legal considerations.
Oh, it's the Turtle Boy show now.
Contractual considerations that I'm not allowed to talk about, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at the face. Look at the Bushman. Oh, say it, Billy. You know you wanted to. Oh, clutch them. Contractual obligations that I can't talk about. You heard it here, baby. Well, no, you really heard it with Billy Bush, but you also heard it secondhand on Nurse Kim's house on a morning show. Contractually speaking, can't tell you. Okay. That's because Ben Affleck and Turtle Boy have teamed up and they're making a movie. Yes, baby. And it's going to be a blockbuster. Can I get an invite to the premiere, Aiden? Remember your homegirl.
It was really nice meeting Ben. He's a very talented...
What do you mean contractual situation? Is this about the movie?
Well, that's what I can't get into. If it was, I wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Wait, is Ben going to play Alan Jackson?
I can't say. I'm not allowed to say anything.
This is big news here.
I can't. I'm not confirming or denying anything. I can't.
Somebody posted Ben plays Alan Jackson and his buddy Matt Damon plays Turtle Boy. Someone posted a second ago Billy Bush should play Turtle Boy. I haven't acted in a while. I got to dust off my chest. What about Turtle Boy playing Turtle Boy? Or what Alan Jackson suggested to me, Jack Black as Turtle Boy. Now, don't go on aesthetics right now. It's not a physical thing. Think of the character, the personality of Jack Black.
Okay, Billy, listen, you had me till here. Okay, fix your face. That was dumb. Okay, there is no Jack Black playing Dr. Turtle Boy. Okay, now not aesthetically, and I'm not saying anything because Jack Black is a bear. Okay, a little lovable bear. But their humor isn't even the same. You have to have like a dark sense of humor. You have to have a nurses or, a nurse, a teacher, sometimes firefighter and police, first responders. We're a little bit weird, okay? We are oddball magoos because you have to like disassociate at times and be able to just keep on trucking when you are dealing with tragic events. So Jack Black is not a positive answer in anyone's mind. Okay. You know who I like? Oh gosh, what is his name? Damn it. Now I can't think of it. Oh, he's so handsome too. Who plays Venom? Why can't I think of his name right now? Oh, Jeremy Renner. Oh God, why am I not thinking of who plays Venom? Oh, I can't think of it. I know it's right there. He's right. Tom Harding. There he is. Boom. Okay. Like moody, hot, angry. Are we fucking? You know, like that's like the kind of vibe. What are we doing? But also can be funny. These are the things we look for. Not Jack Black. Ugh. No, and I don't mean like ew. I mean like, oh, what are you talking about?
Very interesting.
The
He's a
personality, I
pivotal
can see.
character.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
But
more
I,
handsome.
well, I thought, thank you. But you know, we do not have a director set. There is a short list. We don't have any actors or actresses set. There is a short list.
Who's on it? Give us some names.
I can't. I wish I really can't. I would be violating my own contract if I did that. But I'm kind of kept in the loop to a degree. But it was nice meeting Ben Affleck.
This EB says, I wish Shia LaBeouf wasn't a turd. He would make a great Alan Jackson. I wouldn't call him that. Look at this on the screen right here. Sally says, John Goodman is Higgins. Not bad.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's
Not
a
good.
one.
I've heard some really good ones. The best one I've heard is as Judge Bev Canoni, Amy Schumer.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
That's almost a must, don't you think? I mean, that's really
It is. But I mean, Bev's a lot older than her. I think.
Adam
Yeah.
Sandler for Hank Brennan right here.
I could see that. I could see Adam. Yeah, but everybody likes Adam Sandler, so like you wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to ruin Adam Sandler by making him Hank Brennan because he'd have to be the villain.
What about Kevin James as Higgy? That's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
People are really working here. Anyway,
No,
Turtle
not
Boy, I really
Amy
appreciate
Okay, no, absolutely not. Lovey's absolutely not. Okay, everything. Listen, Billy, I like you. Okay, I appreciate you, Sir Bush a lot. But what we're not going to do is make it a romantic. It's not a rom-com. Okay, I need real heavy hitters. I need Oscar-worthy performances. Meryl Streep as Judge Beverly Canoni. Shut up. I said it. I said it. Hilary Swank or Olivia Wilde, which I lean Olivia Wilde for Karen Reed. Okay. Hank Brennan needs to be a really creepy guy from The Green Mile. I can't think of his name right now. I'll cast it. But this is going to be serious. Okay. It is going to be a movie that people who don't know, which is a very rare, right? Like there's a very rare person after the second trial that like doesn't know about the Karen Reed case. You know something in the news. They might not be us lovies, but they know some shit. This, in my opinion, would be like, it's Karen Reed hunting. This is going to be Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and if God rest his soul, Robin Williams was still here, he'd be involved. Because I think that it will be a story that is clearly based on true events that will change the trajectory of Hollywood and the judicial system because there needed to be changes made after this shit show and what has been done in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
chatting with me on this, and we'll keep up on it. Look, Alan Jackson just responded. He said, "Yep, that was my post, and I would love to grab another Vesper soon."
Oh, nice, excellent.
Oh, that's cool. Hold on, let me check my phone. Oh, it's it's Mr. Yannetti, and he said, "Thanks for being you, Kim. You're my consensual intern." Yeah, don't make it weird, Billy. It's not all about you. Ugh.
Who doesn't love Houston's? You're not a real guy if you don't like Houston's. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks
I've never had one. I can't say I can't confirm or deny if I like those, but maybe I will too. And I'll give one of those a try.
We're gonna treat you to a Vesper. You've earned it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, brother. The great Turtle Boy right there.
Turtle Boy, the great. Okay, so now come to me. All right, lovies. Loved it. Obsessed. Can't even. Hashtag can't stop, won't stop. Can I take this off? Where do you live? Okay, I did it. What do I do? What am I doing here? Can I make me here? Oh, woo! Just cooking with gas. Okay, so we have all of that. That I was impressed as all hell about that interview. Loved it. Got some new info. All right. Just hand it out like you're feeding the ducks. All right. Feed me the info. I must know. So then I see this little post yesterday and I go, shut your mouth. Because I was going to get us all prepared. I just wanted us to be so ready. Oh, do I stop sharing this? Stop. Okay, good. I wanted us to be like 100% on par for today because Rosemary is back in court for the Miles King. And we know that a couple weeks ago that Adam Lally was, there looking like an absolute chode on the stand. Just terrible beta vibes. Can't remember shit. Doesn't know if he asked Proctor for anything. Doesn't know why he's here. No, he knows nothing. And as Mr. Betterow said the other night, like he is the senior prosecutor. He should know what he's doing, right? We're not going to give you a pass because you can't claim ignorance on this. And it's kind of like he's trying to say, oh, me and Proctor, I asked him a couple times. It just didn't happen. Didn't materialize. Oh, 216 pieces of evidence just didn't materialize. Okay. Oh, what is this? Oh, good morning. Can we get any inside info on Yannetti coming to Nurse Kim's house for a little visit? Yes or yes? Parksy. Yes. I got it. I got another DM. And the DM said, Kimberly. No, it didn't. It's like, Nurse Kim said, I didn't forget about you. And I'm coming. And I'll let you know when. Clutch. Listen, I don't tell Mr. Yannetti, my bowl of spaghetti, where he goes. He tells me. I'm just prepared with a spoon and a fork, ready to spin him up, Only say the word, and I shall press live. Tiny Mary, Tiny Jesus are aware. We are on standby. And when he says, your time has come, I will be prepared to answer that call. Parksy, love you. Thank you. Okay. So we get Meredith this post yesterday because today was the day we were going to talk all the shit. I was going to watch it. I was so ready. And we get Commonwealth of Massachusetts filing number 136, Commonwealth v. Miles King. Bitch, when I tell you this, you guys are going to flip. Motion to limit the scope of questioning of attorney under subpoena. Oh, I'm sorry. Is your labia showing right now? Have you had a Nair incident, Monsieur Lally? What are we doing? On May 28th, 2025, the defendant in this matter filed a motion to dismiss or the alternative, release bail and continue the trial date, given the voluminous late disclosed evidence. After the motion was filed, the parties jointly requested that the court continue the trial date and reduce the defendant's bail to $2,500 with conditions. After the hearing, the court allowed the request for a continuance to set bail at $10,000. The defendant posted the cash bail on June 27th, 2025. The court should suspend Lally's testimony unless and until the defense makes a preliminary showing as to all three required prongs required for dismissal. 1, egregious government misconduct. Check. We've made a preliminary finding. 2, prejudice to the defendant's right to a fair trial. Check. 3, and is showing that dismissal is the only remedy for the prejudice. Well, you're never going to be able to show that one, lovies, because that would only be decided by whom? The judge. So we can't just show that. We can show 2 of the 3 prongs because it's met, bitch. It's met. And so then it says, a recent procedural background. The hearing on the motion, was scheduled on July 21st, and Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally was issued a subpoena by the defense counsel to appear at that hearing in this matter scheduled for July 21st at 9 a.m. He appeared and began to testify over his attorney's objection. Okay. At the hearing, the court directed counsel for the next page defendant and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office to work together. Put on your working shirt and specifically identify the scope of this discovery that was disclosed to the defense. The court also directed counsel for the defendant to review the materials and to identify specifically any exculpatory evidence that was disclosed late to the defense. Attorney Lally testified on July 21st, and the hearing was continued until when? Today, August 5th, 2025, with the expectation that the parties would have narrowed the scope of the discovery at issue, and counsel of the defendant would have identified that what she claimed to be exculpatory and prejudicial. Before Attorney Lally's testimony recommences in this matter, counsel for the defendant should comply with the court's directive and identify how the evidence issue here is exculpatory and how the defendant has been prejudiced, particularly given that he has been released on bail and the trial has been continued. Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh, look what I baked you. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked shut the fuck up cakes in my microwave. I don't even know. Fuck directly off. I baked you some shut the fuck up cakes. They are available now, and I'd like you to eat some. Are you telling me that because Miles King, who likely, probably could be guilty, I can't say anything that was done incorrectly. They had the right guy, but you didn't follow policy and procedures. And every defendant, no matter if they are guilty or innocent, should expect a fair trial, a fair investigation. And you pricks continue to show us that it doesn't matter. On your watch, anything goes. 6 warrants? Your mother. Okay. Oh, I don't know where they are. Why don't you check under your bed? It's probably there with a monster from Monsters, Inc. What are we doing? Who gives a walking shit that this guy got out years later and that he has been on bail? Oh, I gave you bail. So now let's pretend that this doesn't matter. Because I let you out of prison, you should sit down and shut the fuck up. No. Nope, doesn't work that way. And when the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and Mass State Police did their dirty work in very visible cases, and now we're seeing that trickle down economics, that trickle down fuckocomics, okay? What is going on? It was absolutely happening to cases that they thought no one's eyes would ever be on. Okay. So then it says that without 2 of the requirements for dismissal under Commonwealth versus Trepania, whatever, that's a cited thing, the defendant motion fails and testimony from Attorney Lally becomes unnecessary. No. Should the court still wish to hear from Attorney Lally, the undersigned counsel for him respectfully suggest that his testimony should be strictly limited to the issue of whether his conduct constitutes egregious misconduct, which in the light of the 26 notices of discovery, providing unique discovery each time, certainly does not. Last week, the appeals court issued its decision in Commonwealth versus Trepania, and this case is worth a close study. Like this case, it emanates from allegation of late disclosure of evidence that was ultimately disclosed, next page, pre-trial. In that case, the trial court issued an order to produce the discovery, but included what should have been excludable under the Mass Crim 36, ultimately leading to dismissal. The appeals court was clear that, quote, dismissal of the charges as a sanction for a violation of Mass Crim Procedure 14A in the absence of a finding is of irremediable harm was an abuse of discretion. In the footnote 8 in the appeals court, the amended Rule 14, including to the sanction of provisions, but wrote, we discern no substantive changes in the language. Rather, we think it merely provides an illustrative list of sanctions to aid litigant and judges, meaning dismissal should be the last of the remedies, which it always is. Duh. You're not going to dismiss a case if you can fix it in another way. Hello. Okay. So then it says the last thing is where the defense has not made a preliminary showing to all three components required of Commonwealth versus Trepagna and Edwards, it cannot be dismissed. The remedy of dismissal is only warranted if there is egregious government misconduct, prejudice, and the defendant's right to a fair trial, and a showing that dismissal is the only remedy for that prejudice. In this case, should counsel for defendant fail to identify for the court how any of these documents issues are exculpatory, and therefore the late production prejudiced the right to a fair trial, and where counsel for the defendant failed to show how dismissal is necessary to cure the prejudice given that the trial date has been continued and the defendant is released and on bail, the defendant's motion can be denied without further testimony from Attorney Lally. In any event, Attorney Lally's testimony should be strictly limited. Okay, they just keep repeating. The court will learn that Attorney Lally was diligent. Get ready. The court will learn Attorney Lally was diligent, well-meaning, and that his conduct aimed to conform with his obligations as a prosecutor. Well, Loveys, I'm going to tell you this. That is a direct, absolutely go F yourself to every resident in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And to that, I say this. I'm sorry, I found something in my pocket for the counsel of Adam Lally and Adam Lally himself. It's deep. It's quite in there. Okay, let's just get it out. Take that, sit on it, and spin. Because you pieces of garbage know exactly what you did. Adam Lally is negligent at best, and he is participating in nefarious, egregious governmental misconduct at worst. Okay? This isn't a game. These are real life characters. People's life has been disrupted. They will never get it back. The families of victims that have had their time absolutely wasted by trying to work with you, trying to give you all of this information, and yet you don't do your job. You are shatting on the courthouse stairs like a seagull. And you're just making a mockery of Massachusetts every single time this goes in front of a court. And I'm hoping this judge today allows Mr. Lally, Adam Lally, to continue to testify. Limit the scope all you want. Rosemary is going to body slam you. She is going to ensure that it continues to come to the surface that there was no policy, there was no procedure, there was nothing in place, Loveys. And that's the scary thing. If you're not getting something from the investigative agencies, including affidavits, including your warrants, including test, whatever it is you need, your let's say statements, anything. If you're not getting it as a prosecutor, you have to be the one that takes accountability. And you have to say, okay, I got to go up the food chain here. I got to either talk to the talk to Tully, because he was the boss of Proctor, or you've got to go up and ask the judge in these cases and say, we have a huge systematic problem right now. Because that is your job, to do justice. And you were complacent, you were lazy, and you didn't give a shit about any defendant that was awaiting trial behind bars. And therefore, ergo, by not caring about, and I'm not saying caring like touchy-feely, like, oh, let me give you a hug, you're sad. No, caring because that in turn shows your care for the victim of cases, for the victim's family. And it shows the pride in your ethic and your work. And that you took it seriously, your oath. I think that there has been a lot of holes that have been found in the Commonwealth and in the prosecution, at least in Norfolk County. And who is the head of that snake? Michael Morrissey. Meatbally motherfucker. So, with that being said, we will see what happens today. And will Proctor testify? I don't know. Will Lally be afforded an opportunity to come back up? I hope so. But look at this too, guys. This was signed yesterday. So the day before, you guys had from the 21st to August 4th. And you drop it as usual. Like, you want to talk about the fuckery afoot. You drop this last night. You say, oh, let me send this little 4-page, tiddly squat to the court so that I can say, no, it's not fair. It's not fair for Lally. And his Adam Lally Esquire, his attorneys are Pat Hanley, Karen Wells, and they're at the firm called Butters Brazilian LLP. Well, I remember the Butters Brazilians. Why? Because it sounds like a cream that you would get from Amazon. Butters Brazilian sounds like a bum cream, right? Sol de Janeiro, number 68, Butters Brazilian. So then I remembered that Pat Hanley, and I might be putting things together here. They are the attorneys that are that represent the unions. They represent Mass State Police Union, and now they're representing the Norfolk DA's office. So that feels like a conflict of interest. And also, I can look up your donations, and I'm pretty sure that the Sol de Janeiro Buttered Brazilians have been donating their asses off to Michael Morrissey over the last couple of terms. So I'm going to look that up more. I'm saying that I said that, but that's an asterisk. But I remember looking up John Hanley, or Patrick Hanley, rather. So they're Boston lawyers, and they're Butters and Brazilian. So there we go. Oh my gosh. Yes, Swiss Miss. I'm telling you, it's all connected. Oh, the tangle web we weave, when at first they did deceive. And so now I wish you all an incredible Tuesday. Okay. Let's drop it like it's hot. Let us make the best of today. And let's hope that Rosemary, our queen, is ready to tuck and roll. And she is up there getting to the truth and cutting through all the bullshit that she may see. I bid you adieu, lovies. And I will be back Thursday morning show. We're going to do it. And if this goes off the rails today, we might do an aftermath. Okay. I love your faces. Have the best day. Can you believe that yesterday we were 1 year old on YouTube? Shut up. Stop it. A year later, and 30,000 of you lovies have shown up and been here for me. And I hope that it has been worth answering my unhinged FaceTimes. You're the best. I love everything about you. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
All right, great job on the news.
Thank you.
We will, Courtney and I will share what happened when we went to dinner last night, Sunday dinner, coming up. And as